Rob Zombie went from industrial metal king to horror movie director over a decade and a half ago, building a collection of classic films. With 3 from Hell arriving this year, we ranked every zombie film currently out. Let's see where your favorite ended up. But before we get too bloodied up, make sure to subscribe to APTV and turn on all notifications so you never miss a video. Rob Zombie films ranked from worst to best. Number 6, Halloween 2. While many Halloween purists felt Zombie's initial reboot was a waste of time and largely unsuccessful, Halloween 2 was a genuine failure in just about everyone's mind. Diving into Michael Myers' backstory didn't sit well with a lot of people in the first film, but revisiting it in this one was a huge mistake. Furthermore, shoehorning in an appearance from Zombie's wife, Sherry Moon Zombie, who portrayed Myers' mother as a ghost, felt like he wanted to include her but couldn't think of a good way to do it. Number 5, The Lords of Salem. The very premise of this movie leaves little room for success, so it's not surprising how bad this turned out. The Lords of Salem tackles the Salem witch trials through a cheesy plot involving a DJ, portrayed by Sherry Moon Zombie, playing a record by a band called The Lords, which causes the woman in the town to be targeted by newly awakened demons and witches. On first look, the film seems like an excuse to dress up Zombie's wife to look vaguely like he did in his 90s heyday. At its best, Lords makes viewers feel like they're experiencing the emotions of the characters in real time. At its worst, it's a hot mess of satanic stereotypes where you can completely predict the plot at every moment. Number 4, Halloween. Remaking a classic horror movie is no easy task, and while a lot of people feel strongly opposed to the zombie recreation of Halloween, it isn't as bad as many make it out to be. The first half hour or so of the film is largely a waste of time, building a backstory for Michael Myers through his childhood. As it gets going, viewers start to feel like they're watching a genuinely revamped version of the original film, though with a new direction. The heart of the problem with this movie, though, is the execution of the big moments. Loud noises and vague shots of people looking horrified stand in for showing the actual violence throughout the film. Number 3, 31. Who doesn't love psychotic gangs of murderous clowns and carnies? Zombie's latest film, 31, follows 5 carnival workers who are kidnapped by a gang of clowns called the Heads, who force them to play a game of survival through a maze of rooms for someone else's entertainment. Though the premise is pretty basic, 31 sees Zombie doing what he does best, taking backwoods villains and turning them into sadistic monsters. Number 2, House of a Thousand Corpses. Zombie's debut film set him up for the next big thing in horror. House of a Thousand Corpses is a fantastic film that feels as gritty and shocking as the Texas Chainsaw Massacre or The Hills Have Eyes felt back in the 70s. When the movie was first released, it was largely written off, but horror fans brought it to cult classic status as recognition of the story's success in building a new horror family to follow. The introduction of the Firefly family, the individual members' sadistic personalities, and the 70s horror themes really sell this movie. Number 1, The Devil's Rejects. With all the questions left in the air after House of a Thousand Corpses, Zombie couldn't leave the Firefly family to simply be put to rest. He continues their story in The Devil's Rejects, and it's even more shockingly captivating than the first installment. While the family feels almost untouchable throughout much of their time on screen, things finally get tricky for them as their actions start to catch up to them, which only builds more suspense for viewers. Everything about this film takes the successes of the last movie and builds them into something better. The characters already feel familiar, so there's more time to spend on developing the story while still having plenty of gore-filled moments. The movie's ending felt like a final moment for the characters, even if it didn't show the outcome, but we now know there's more to be explored with 3 from Hell. What do you think of our ranking of Rob Zombie's films? Let us know in the comments below. Pause for dramatic slurps.